When people talk about being watched, it usually comes from fear. A creak in the hallway, a shadow at the edge of vision, the sense that something is standing behind you. But near death experiencers describe something else entirely, not fear, not threat, attention. A presence that feels older than memory and more patient than time. Something that doesn't interfere, but witnesses. Something that doesn't speak, but understands. Something that doesn't leave when the experiencer wishes it would. Tonight, we explore the awareness that follows some people back from the edge of death. I'm Candy, and this is Half Haunted Chronicles. During near death experiences, many people encounter presences, beings of light, guides, ancestors, intelligences without form, awareness that communicates without words. Most say goodbye before returning, but a rare group comes back with the sense that something crossed the threshold with them, not as a guide, not as a protector, as a witness. They describe a presence just behind me, eyes I can't see but feel, a consciousness that notices everything, a watcher that never sleeps, a quiet awareness in the room. This isn't paranoia, this isn't anxiety, this isn't illness. It's an after effect so subtle researchers rarely address it. But experiencers recognize it immediately because once you've stood in that light, you know when something from that place is watching you live. Some presences don't intervene, they observe, they witness. These are the moments when experiencers realize they were never truly observed. The man who felt the presence at his shoulders. Adrian survived a fall from scaffolding that briefly stopped his heart. He recovered, he returned to work, returned to routine. Afterward, he felt a presence just behind his left shoulder. Not constant, not intrusive, present during moments that mattered. Once, mid swing with a hammer, he felt a sudden intake, like someone holding their breath. He stopped. The beam snapped seconds later. Adrian said, "It didn't stop me, it noticed me." The woman who saw the outline, Nora, flatlined during childbirth. She survived. Months later, brushing her teeth, she noticed something in the mirror's edge, a tall silhouette. Not human, not threatening, watching. She saw it again in reflections, windows, car doors, screens, never directly, never when she turned. Nora said it wasn't a ghost. It felt like awareness looking back at itself. The veteran who felt accounted for. Ward survived an explosion overseas and experienced a NDE. He came home changed. Whenever danger approached, the present sharpened, not alarm, attention. Late one night, driving too fast, he felt the awareness lean forward. He slowed. A deer stepped onto the road seconds later. Another time, the presence stirred him awake, moments before an electrical fire ignited. Ward said it wasn't protecting me, it was already aware of what was coming. The child who drew the watcher. Haley nearly died at 8. She survived. Afterward, she began drawing the same figure, tall, elongated, still, standing beside her bedroom window. When asked who it was, she said calmly, "He waits with me until it's time to go back." Later, she described the same presence she had seen during her NDE, standing at the edge of light. For Haley, the watcher wasn't new, it was familiar. The woman who felt watched only when she lied. Rhea survived a near fatal car crash. She returned reflective. Careful when she lied, even gently, she felt the presence draw close, a pressure, a weight, an awareness. She began living with radical honesty, not out of fear, but because deception felt noticed. Rhea said it wasn't judgment, it was awareness, like reality itself was paying attention. This episode lingers because the watchers aren't monsters. They aren't saviors. They aren't judges. They are witnesses. Awareness without interruption. Presence without control. Near death experiencers don't fear them. They don't worship them. They accept them because once you've stood on the threshold of death and returned, you understand something quietly profound. You are not unseen. Your choices matter. Your growth is noticed. Your life is observed with patience. And maybe, just maybe, the universe isn't empty. It's attentive. Tonight, we explored the watchers, the awareness that follows with some experiencers long after they return from death. This brings us to the close of season 4, The Science of the Soul, a season shaped by altered time, expanded perception, healing presence, quiet guidance, and the feeling of being seen. But the story doesn't end here. Next season, we step beyond experience and into the meaning itself. Until then, Stay curious and always, always, always stay haunted.